both monks as well as household devotees. Health is a subject which has fascinated me. How to be healthy, how to remain fit physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. Today we are extremely fortunate to be in the presence of Swami Gautamananji Maharaj, who is an epitome of perfect health at the age of 95 years. He is a source of great inspiration for all of us. How to serve Sri Ramakrishna and his creation and his children day after day, month after month, year after year, consistently on a sustained basis. So that comes to the physical aspect of health, physical dimension of health. Swamiji gave a lot of emphasis on health, physical health. He used to say, Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. He used to quote from Kalidasa's Kumara Sambhavam. Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam means Sharira is the vehicle through which we can cross over this ocean of existence, through which we can attain that immortality, which is already within every one of us. It's our birthright. So Nikhileshwarananji was telling, Mother is so loving and kind and she feeds us with so many delicacies. But Swamiji, Mahapurush Maharaj, Brahmananji, they all gave a lot of emphasis on diet and physical exercises. Swamiji would say you must build your muscles, and he goes to the extent of saying, for the time being, you need not study Bhagavad Gita. You build up you make your biceps strong. With a strong biceps, you will be able to understand Bhagavad Gita better. That's what he meant. That is the importance Swamiji gave to physical health. So all of us know how important is regular physical exercises and diet, spending adequate time on the lap of Mother Nature, which takes away our stress. Physical exercises to keep ourselves fit, to be fit instruments in the hands of Sri Thakur and Mother and Swamiji for actualizing, for realizing that ideal which is given to us, that great mantra, Manana Trayate iti mantra, that which sustains us, that which supports us, that which makes us live. This is mantra. So not only the Guru given mantra, this mantra, Atmano Mokshartam Jagadhitaya, the purpose of human life is my peace of mind, my well-being, my freedom, ultimate liberation, a sense of security, a sense of fulfillment, inner qualitative enrichment, blessedness, at the same time doing good to the society, doing good to the world in which we live. So that is the mantra. So to do this, we need to be physically, mentally, emotionally fit, that fitness. And today, the Honorable Prime Minister of India has this great vision. He has started this Fit India program that is of tremendous importance for all of us to make India strong, prosperous, powerful, and a peaceful world. So we as children of Sri Ramakrishna, whether we are monastic or lay disciples, we need to focus, we need to emphasize on health, all the three dimensions. And WHO also has defined it so beautifully. It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Nowadays they have added that spiritual dimension also, and not merely an absence of disease or infirmity. So that is the importance of fitness. So physical fitness, I just touched on, and now this coming to this mental fitness. Nowadays there is stress everywhere. Swamiji spoke about, Satyadevanji spoke about COVID pandemic, and Tyagananji also. And by the grace of Thakur, Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission, both monastic as well as lay disciples did unprecedented relief work all over the country and in many parts of the world. So stress management, it created a lot of stress, mental stress, anxiety, tension, uncertainty, sense of fear, gripped all of us. So how Sri Ramakrishna, Mother and Swamiji and the direct disciples and our elders teach us to cope with this stress. Stress is always there. It is it has become an integral, unavoidable part of our life. Mahapurush Maharaj says, I love reading the Seekers of God, Shivananda Vani. If you know Bangla, you can read the original Bangla. So Shivananji is full of compassion, both for monks as well as householders. He has dealt with so many problems. If at all, whenever we feel that my faith is, there is self-doubt creeping up, self-doubt creeping in, there are doubts and suspicion and why this is happening. So you just have to read Shivananda Vani, Mahapurush Maharaj, for Seekers of God. Your faith in God, faith in Thakur, faith in Mother will get strengthened. So there Mahapurush Maharaj says, this world is a dangerous place, full of uncertainties. Mahapurush Maharaj's own words, this world is a dangerous place. The only way to live happily is to approach Sri Ramakrishna. He is our father and mother, eternal parents, Sri Ramakrishna and mother. He says, we must pray to Thakur. Thakur, I am an ordinary human being, full of defects and weaknesses. I am not able to practice whatever I have been taught and whatever I have learned. So unless you hold me by hand, it will not be possible for me to realize you, realize your grace. So just as a father holds his son by the hand, you have to hold me by the hand and take me forward. So this is one of the important techniques to overcome stress. In another place, Mahapurush Maharaj says, why there is stress? It is all in the mind because of ego. We think that we are separate from others, we are distinct from others. We don't feel the oneness with the creation, oneness with everybody. Sometimes we feel a sense of egotism, ego. This is the cause of all stress and suffering. Mahapurush Maharaj says, because of this ego, sometimes human relationships get strained. And Mahapurush Maharaj's own words I would like to quote. Temporary misunderstandings are inevitable when several work together. It is inevitable. It is natural. They are not something to be blamed for. Such misunderstandings come and go. They cannot touch your inner self because the main objective of a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna is to realize God. So this is a beautiful, sometimes we worry about our mistakes and guilt conscience haunts us. Strained relationships affect our efficiency, but Mahapurush Maharaj has given this great lesson. This is temporary. Your focus should be on Thakur, and these misunderstandings will come and go. You don't have to worry much about it. And another thing for me, because our householders, they are Rajarshis. As Satyeshanandaji said, each and every monk of the Ramakrishna order is a gem, is a jewel, is unique in his own way. And he was apologetic that I could not give time for many of them who are so proficient, excellent in their own fields, in their areas of specialization. I feel each and every lay disciple, a householder disciple of Sri Ramakrishna volunteer is unique. Because Sri Ramakrishna does not make any differentiation between a monk, a nun and a householder disciple. This must keep it in mind. God does not see the color of our dress, does not see whether we are clean shaven or we have a beard. He sees the inner yearning, the longing, the sincere love. So through Master Mahashaya, Thakur has showered this blessing on all of us, on all humanity. Master Mahashaya was in a depressed mood. He was a genius, like Swamiji. He was an intellectual genius, an authority in so many subjects, multifaceted genius, this Master Mahashaya, but he was very soft-spoken, very humble, meek. His wife would threaten him. His wife would tell, see, you are a married man, you have 3-4 children, and you frequent Dakshineshwar. It does not befit you. I will commit suicide. Master Mahashaya felt very sad, but he came to Thakur and opened up his heart to him, confessed all his feelings. That's a very important thing, confiding his feelings, because Thakur is our own father. If we don't disclose our feelings to Sri Ramakrishna, where else we go? So he told, Thakur, my wife tells like this, she's creating problems, she throws tantrums. Then Thakur suddenly became grave, serious. He said, if such a wife is an obstacle to God realization, let her do whatever she likes, don't worry about it. This made Master Mahashaya more depressed. Sri Ramakrishna has told like this, if she commits suicide, who will take care of the family? So he was silent. Then after a couple of minutes, Thakur had words he spoke to Rakha, Narendra and all, then came back to Master Mahashay and whispered in his ears. He said, Master, I'll tell you one thing, I always read this has to be written in golden characters. He says, Master, Sri Ramakrishna tells Master Mahashay, if one has sincere love for God, everybody will come under his control. He says, the king, Sri Ramakrishna mentions, the king means our superiors, the authorities, the government people, whoever it is, the king, the wicked people, wife, disobedient children, everybody. Sri Ramakrishna makes a sweeping statement, gives us, this is the key to live happily and peacefully. Only duty is to love Sri Ramakrishna. So through Master Mahashay, Thakur tells, your only duty is to love me, hold on to me, surrender to me. I will take care of everything. I will take care of your responsibility. So then Master Mahashay, some householders may think probably we made a mistake, we didn't become monks and nuns, they are something extraordinary. No, Thakur very clearly tells these three things are directly in the hands of God. Birth, death and vivaha, marriage. So God has placed us in a particular situation, so we have to accept it. Same Sri Ramakrishna told Master Mahashay, who was a household disciple, he said, the moment I saw you when you were reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, I recognized you. You are my own, of the same substance as father and son. This is a very important statement. Thakur, when he was alive, he abhorred these three words, Guru, Baba and Karta. But here Sri Ramakrishna tells, you are my own, of the same substance as father and son. Just as a son inherits his father's wealth, ancestral property, you will inherit my wealth. My Thakur's wealth is blissfulness, happiness, joy, peace, love for mother. So here we find a striking similarity. Sri Ramakrishna says, one who has sincere love for God, everybody will come under his control. This is a Maha Mantra, one of the Maha Vakyas in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We have Aham Brahmasmi, Sarvapriyananji is going to talk on that. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, all those Upanishadic statements are there. So this is one of the Maha Vakyas. We find a beautiful resemblance, similar to the same idea in the Gospel, Matthew's Gospel. The disciple asked, Lord asked Jesus Christ, what is our duty? What is the greatest commandment? Then Jesus makes that historic, immortal sentence, love thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy strength, with all thy mind. So, loving Sri Ramakrishna, who is our Ishtadevata, mother, who is our own biological, genetic mother, with all sincerity and love. Then, Sri Ramakrishna would say, this ego is the cause for all stress, mental problems. How to get rid of this ego? He has given us another Mahavakya, Maha Mantra, constantly repeating, Naham, Naham, Tu, not I, but thou. Lord, thy will be done. So by constantly repeating, Akhandananji says one can experience even Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It may be superficial, it may be hollow, we may not feel it in the depth of our hearts, but still, as Tyagananji said, the power of habit, the power of practice, which he learned at the feet of those great Swamijis, Niramayananji, Vidyananji, and Kalipada Maharaj and others. So this constantly repeating, Naham, Naham, Tuhu, Thakur, it is you, mother, you are everything and nobody. So that is where Swamiji says, Tasmat Tvameva Sharanam Mama Dina Bandho. Swamiji assumes the attitude of an ordinary spiritual aspirant. Though he was a Nitya Siddha, Ishvara Koti, Shiva incarnate, Swamiji comes down to our level and says, Vaktrodrutam tu hridime nachabhati kinchit tasmat tvameva sharanam. Thakur, my Lord, it is all just glib talk, superficial, so hollow, but deep within I don't realize. Therefore, you alone have to save me. You alone have to redeem me. You are tasmat tvam eva. Tvam eva means sirf tum. तुम्हारे बिना मेरे लिए कोई नहीं है, कोई मुझे nobody can save me. So that is a great statement made by Swamiji. Tasmat Tvameva Sharanam Mama Dina Bandhu. And sitting at the feet of Swami Satyeshanandaji Maharaj, I learned two important lessons. He was like a small child, small boy, 5 years old. Many of you might have seen. So after breakfast, he would take a little rest. After breakfast, at about 9 o'clock, he suddenly got up and he was soliloquizing. I was in his room. He said, Ahankar korle malik marbe, Ahankar korle malik marbe. 2-3 times he repeated. So what it means is, even if there is an iota of ahankar, egoism, I am separate from Sri Ramakrishna, I am separate from his creation, always sufferings and blows will come to us from all corners. So ahankar karle malik parle means Malik is Thakur, the Lord of the universe, will rain blows on us, blows will be rained on us. So the best way is to constantly remember this. Thakur, it is, even if it is superficial, even if it is not from the depth of our hearts, this practice makes us perfect. And another important lesson he taught, Jishu Bole Chen, judge not so that you may not be judged. By what yardstick you judge others, by the same yardstick you will be measured. So this is human tendency to judge others, and so that leads to restlessness, agitation, loss of peace of mind. And our elders always taught us, if you want to get Divine Mother's grace, every day we pray to Mother, Sharanagata Deenartha Paritrana Parayane Sarvasyarthi Hare Devi Narayani Namostate. That to get Mother's grace, Divine Mother's grace, 3 conditions have to be fulfilled. Sharanagata, Deena and Artha. Sharanagata, Mother, there is nobody for me except you. You alone can save me, because we are in a dangerous situation, precarious situation. Why Mahapurush Maharaj tells, this body-mind complex is completely fragile, very delicate. This is a vehicle, a machine which can crack, which can crash anytime. This vehicle may break down. So we are in such a precarious condition. As Atman, we are infinite. We are that infinite consciousness, that is true. But as long as we have this Dehatma Buddhi, that sense of fear will be there. So that is the reason why we have constantly tell, Prabhu, मैं आपकी शरण में आया हूँ, मैं शरणागत हूँ, मैं दीन हूँ, मैं आर्त हूँ. Here deen means what? Not a sense of lack of self-confidence or diffidence. Externally, as children of Sri Ramakrishna, we have to work with efficiency, self-confidence, but deep within we must know our limitations. What is our role? Date of death we do not know. When is Meri Pari Kab hai, nahi jante hai. So Sharanagata, Deena, these are very important concept. This Deena means humility, born out of gratitude to the Lord. Lord, I don't deserve this, yet out of your infinite grace, you have showered your blessings on me. It's a miracle that we are able to sit here. There are millions of people who are bedridden, who are paralyzed, who are hemiplegic, paraplegic. They can't answer nature's calls. They can't see. Many of them have retinal problems, hooked to ventilators. It's a miracle, it's a blessing that we are here. So Lord, I am grateful to you. This Deena, an attitude of gratitude for all the blessings you have showered on us, you have showered on me. That's why our elders told, Thakur loves this bhajan very much. What is that? Was another great householder disciple, Devendranath Mazumdar. He wrote in that Bhavasagar Tarana, Guru Deva Daya Karo Deena Jane, and Deena, Prabhu, have mercy on me, Mujh par kripa karna, मैं दीन हूँ. That's why Swamiji again and again he tells, Tasmat Tvameva Sharanam Mama Deena Bandho. Swamiji, a man of his stature, his caliber, teaching us how to approach Sri Ramakrishna. Deena Bandhu, you are the friend of the lowly and the fallen. You are the savior, our redeemer. So that is how we have to approach the Divine Mother. The Shankaracharya was a great Advaiti, all of us know. He was a beautiful blend of Jnana and Bhakti. I always like this, Kuputro Jayate, Kvachidapi Kumata na Bhavati. Kuputra, I may be a bad son mother, but a bad mother we never find in this world. So householder devotees, one householder devotee, he was not a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna in that sense. He was a devotee of Mother Kali, a rustic villager, didn't have any education. had a large family. He passed away in 1987, so I'm telling you this. He was a great lover of Divine Mother Kali. He would always tell us, see, don't approach Mother as goddess or Devi. She's your own mother. She's your biological mother. That an intimate relationship with the ultimate Divine Mother you must have. One day, how powerful the householders can be, I will tell you. If you just have to read Swamiji's Karma Yoga. There's a beautiful chapter. Each one is great in his own place. A householder is great in his own place. A sannyasa is great in his own place. There are two illustrations. One, the illustration of a housewife who was devoted to serving her husband and who taught some lessons to a young monk who was proud of his spiritual power. He had burned down, he had reduced it to ashes. So, and another is that Vyadha, Dharma Vyadha, who was a butcher, a meat seller, how he took care of his parents and his family, and then he taught Atma Gnana to that Kaushika Rishi. So this householder devotee of Mother Kali, he told me, you see, you say you are initiated into Ramakrishna mantra. He was like a small child, small boy. Some of our monks know him. Satyeshanandaji knows him. Right? He knew him very well. So he told, tell me the mantra which your guru has given. I told, see, you don't ask me like that. This mantra is secret and sacred. We can't reveal like that. He said, tell me, what is there? After all, it is God's name. I said, I can't tell you. Once I have told you, I am not going to reveal you. Then he just closed his eyes for a minute and said, see, this is your mantra. Mother is telling me. So that is the power a householder can have. So we have these great illustrations. Balram Basu, when Balram Basu was on his deathbed, his wife, Krishna Bhamini Devi, was in great distress, grief. She was grieving. She was in the inner apartment. Suddenly, her face beamed with joy and happiness. What was the cause? She then revealed Balram Basu was on his deathbed. The last moment had arrived. There was gloom everywhere, despair, and she suddenly saw a chariot appeared from nowhere. And the chariot appeared and alighted on the roof of Balram Basu's house, and Thakur got down from the chariot, went inside where Balram Basu was bedridden. Then after a couple of seconds, Sri Ramakrishna came out with the Balram Basu holding by his hand, and again they boarded, ascended chariot, and they disappeared in thin air. So that was a great vision how Sri Ramakrishna takes care of his devotees. I always wonder, Sri Ramakrishna in the temple here, Mother here, at Velurma, Jairambati, their only business, only concern is about the welfare of the householders, because they know renunciates, monks and brahmacharis, they have no other work except to call on them. These householder devotees are great heroes. They are heroic devotees with so much of pressure and burden on their heads, yet they are devoted to me. So another beautiful incident, Rasik Lal, all of you know Dakshineshwar, he was a scavenger, Safai Karmachari. His work, his profession did not allow him to sit with other disciples of Sri Ramakrishna and listen to Sri Ramakrishna's nectarine words. So one day when Thakur was coming from Panchavati, Rasik Lal fell at Sri Ramakrishna's feet and said, Thakur, Amar ki hobe, what will happen to me? What will be my fate, my Lord? Then Thakur went into ecstasy. Because Karunam Rita Sagara, Karuna Sindhu, ocean of compassion. Then Thakur said, don't worry, Rasik, I will come to you and take you to my abode when you are in the deathbed. It happened, and Purna Chandra Ghosh was another householder disciple. He was an Ishwar Koti. He was going through a very bad patch in Shimla. He wanted to commit suicide. Then he thought, let me have bath, read a page from Gospel, and then put an end to my life. So he took his bath and then opened at random the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. There he found Thakur, Purner Mangal Kamana Kuritichen, Mangal Chinta Kuritichen, Purna Balak Bhakto, means Purna, the boy. Thakur is thinking, Master Mahashaya writes, Thakur is thinking of his welfare. So he abandoned the idea of committing suicide. So there are so many incidents where Sri Ramakrishna showered his love on the householder disciples. Girish Chandra Ghosh, we should be eternally grateful to Girish Chandra Ghosh for his two important contributions. We know all of us, mother was Lajja Patamrita, means always modest. She would tell Thakur, I'm a mere woman, what can I do? Thakur said, you have to do a lot of work. The modern day people are wallowing in worldliness, they are in dark, you must give them wisdom, jnana, and all. Mother used to say, Thakur, I'm an ordinary woman, what can I do? Then Thakur would say, no, you have to do a lot of work. So mother was living in Jairamati. Girish Chandra Ghosh had lost his wives, he had lost his children. It was a great personal tragedy struck him. So he was feeling terribly depressed. He was all of you know, he was a debauchee and a heavy drunkard. Niranjan Maharaj had great love for Girish Babu. Niranjan Maharaj said, Girish Babu, why are you so sad? Mother is there, come, let us go to Jairamati. Then Girish Babu said, Niranjan, I know only Thakur, I don't know about mother and also I won't go. So Niranjan Maharaj persisted and took him to Jairamati. There on a particular day, certain day, Girish Babu asked mother point blank, Mother, tell me what kind of a mother you are. Mother gave that reply, that immortal reply, I am your own mother, your own biological mother, Satmani, Patanamai. I am not your foster mother, I am not your stepmother, I am not by the virtue of being the wife of your Guru, I am your own mother. So that day, mother revealed her universal motherhood. And the second thing, Girish Chandra Ghosh, because of his devotion, Sri Ramakrishna blessed everyone on Kalpataru Day. May all of you be spiritually illumined. Seeing Girish's devotion, Thakur said, Girish, what do you think of me? You say so many things about me that I am an avatar and all. So Girish knelt down, fell at his feet and said, Lord, how can I describe your greatness? The great sages like Valmiki and Vyasa could not describe your Mahima, the glory, so a mere mortal like me, what? So that made Sri Ramakrishna bless the entire humanity, that may you be spiritually illumined. Another great incident I love is this Thakur's love for Keshav Chandra Sen. Keshav was not his disciple, or he was a great Brahma Samaj leader. He would think of God. So Thakur loved him intensely. But once Girish Babu, this Keshav Chandra Sen, fell seriously ill, Thakur prayed to Divine Mother, Siddheshwari Tantanya, Mother, please make Keshav well. Let him recover his wealth. I am going to offer you a tender coconut and sugar, Mother. If he passes away, whom shall I talk to in Calcutta, Mother? Please see that he recovers well. So that is how Thakur pray to Divine Mother. And one day Girish Chandra Ghosh abused Sri Ramakrishna in very foul language. He was in a state of intoxication. Thakur did not lose his patience. With great love, he prayed to Mother, Mother, please make him peaceful so that he won't abuse me. So this is a great lesson for all of us. So I will end my speech by quoting Swami Vireshwaranji Maharaj of hallowed memory. He would say, we are always to be at the door of Sri Ramakrishna, and then his grace may come. It is our duty to be at his door. That is, we must always be thinking of him and practicing Sri Ramakrishna's presence. Then the chances of getting his grace are great. Ranganathananji Maharaj would go into ecstasy whenever he spoke about householders' greatness. He would say, there is a small booklet all of you must read, many of you must have read, Spiritual Life of Householders by Swami Ranganathananji. He would say, Sri Ramakrishna, Mother and Swamiji came to summon all householder disciples to their divine heritage. They came to establish that Rishi ideal. They came to install them on the high pedestal of honor, self-esteem and dignity. They came to enhance the self-respect, prestige of this great institution called Grihastha. Last, one more word. Mother says, how physical fitness I spoke, mental fitness. Mental fitness and spiritual fitness are one and the same, because Thakur said, Shuddha Man, Shuddha Buddhi, Shuddha Atma Hai. Mother says, the easiest and the best way to overcome all the problems of life is to sit in solitude and take the name of Thakur. Take the name of Thakur, speak to him, confess all our problems to him, and pray to him, speak to him in silence. Mother tells, We have to tell everything to Thakur, whatever we need, whatever may be our difficulties, our deficiencies, lacunae. Suppose I am lacking in money or manpower, whatever it is, mother tells, Thakurer সঙ্গে মন খুলে বলতে হবে. Means everything you must tell frankly, because Thakur and mother are our eternal parents. Suppose we can remember this, that we are blessed little children of Sri Ramakrishna and mother, then everything that is excellent and glorious, majestic and grand will come to us, and our lives will be a blessing to the entire mankind. So thank you very much. I offer my Bhakti pranams to Gautamaji Maharaj, Satyeshanandaji, and all the senior Swamijis and the members of the system.